everyone, and welcome to this episode of Lights, Camera, Conversation. Today we're going to be talking about lots of different things in the film industry. So how we got into the film industry, we're going to be talking about some experience that we've had, like shoots that we've done abroad, some drone stuff that Byron does, lots of different things. We'll also be giving some advice as well on how to get into the video production industry. So yeah, I'm Maddy and I'm joined with Byron today.
Hello. That is me.
That is.
Yeah.
So Byron, how did you get into the video production industry?
It's quite a big sort of story for me because I was very young when I wanted to be into filming. I really just wanted to be everything in the world. So I wanted to be a police officer, a fireman, a pilot. I wanted to do everything. And unfortunately in life you can't do everything. So I decided if I do film, then I can make films where I am anything. Obviously it's not got into that, but that's how I originally kind of got into filming. And after that I thought, yeah, let's do it in high school, and then let's do it in college. I did media studies, film studies and photography in college.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then got some decent grades and then went to university and did filmmaking. And then since then, after uni, I've been working here at Shot Boss Media.
Very nice. Yeah, it's kind of similar to me, but I was kind of like on the acting side of things. So I did a lot of like drama and acting and musical theatre like growing up. So I did lots of like outside of school classes and things like that. And then I got into like a film academy, but we mainly did like screen acting. But I kind of decided, like we got to kind of do like directing and script writing and like stuff behind the camera as well. And I kind of got more into that than like the acting stuff. So then, yeah, at sixth form, I chose media studies, and like a lot of that was very practical. So we made lots of like music videos and short films and things, and we learned like a lot about like camera shots and that kind of thing. So that kind of led me to then choosing to do film at uni. And yeah, now I work in marketing for Shot Boss Media. But yeah, it's very, I get to do a lot of like practical stuff here as well. Like I get to go on the shoots and things, do some like behind the scenes, do lots of editing, things like that. So it's definitely like, this is definitely what I wanted to do. So
Yeah, you've been on quite a few shoots now, haven't you, with us?
I have, yeah. I've
more
been on
this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be more to come as well.
So what did you do in media studies? Because we both did it, but at a different time.
Yeah, it might have been different. We learnt like a lot about like representation in films, and like general media, so like newspapers and TV and things as well. So that was like a lot of the course, and then we did like a lot of coursework. So like I remember making a music video at one point.
Oh yeah, we did music videos.
Yeah, we did. I think we did. We must have done a short film. Yeah, we did. I did. We can make like an intro to a film. So I think we did an intro to like a police detective show, which was actually really good. It was quite funny because we all like acted in it as well, so it ended up being quite funny.
That seems so much different to what we did. We did do any filming.
Right.
Ours was all like newspapers and magazines. It was all sort of writing, and then film studies was all about films and creating things, which is one of my favourite things to do. So. Yeah, that's so much different.
Well, so you could choose media, well, you could do both, but there was a media A-level and film A-level, but I looked at both the syllabuses, and the media one was actually more practical, so I was like, I want to do that rather than, like the film studies one was just about studying film, like it was just about the writing stuff, but the media one was like a lot of practical things, so that's why I chose that one.
That's so interesting. Yeah, mine were the complete opposite. Media was all paperwork.
Yeah.
Film was all making things. So yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, it must have just been like complete different courses or something. But yeah, that is funny.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone looking to come into the video production industry?
Oh, there's so much stuff I could give right now. You see, I was lucky in a way where I pushed myself forward. So when I was 16, I applied. In fact, I was looking at everything for apprenticeships and everything like that. And I found this advert online for a school called Pauline Quirk Academy, if you've heard of them. And basically a year later, I got an email from the principal saying, can you come and be a teaching assistant? And I thought, I don't really want to do it, but I did it because I needed a job at the time, and 5 years later, I was still there. And because of that, I met David, who you all know, and then David kind of connected me with Lottie, and then I got this job. So one of my biggest sort of things I would say is push yourself to do things you might not want to do, because that little thing might lead to a big job in the future, which is exactly what happened to me. So that's my biggest advice. But what about you?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's difficult in this industry because it is a lot of like who you know. Like if you never met David, you wouldn't have been working.
Exactly.
Here. You wouldn't have this job. Like I don't know what you'd be doing, but
no,
do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be here. So it is a lot about like who you know in this industry. Like I just applied to the job like on LinkedIn, so that's how I got this job. So it wasn't who I know. Yeah, I was in other roles. Like I was very lucky because I got a year in industry doing marketing, and that led me on to getting a job even before I graduated. They took me on part-time, like on a permanent contract. So I was very lucky in that respect because of that experience that I had before. So it's kind of, I would just say get as much experience as possible, even if it's like, I don't want to say it, but even if it's not paid, even if it's like a student film or like helping a friend make something or doing a YouTube video or like just getting any experience is like the key to getting in this industry, because you want to be able to show like what you've done. And I know that like being creative as well, like when you're applying to jobs, do something different. So Lottie asked me when I was applying to the job to do to make a video of myself, like saying why I want the job and why they should hire me basically. And what I did was made a TikTok video. So I added in like all the TikTok, you know, like effects and things, and they were like, that's really creative, no one else has done that. That's something that no one else has done, and it shows that she can use TikTok. So, you know, just like try and be as creative as possible. Like that's what people are looking for in this industry.
One thing I would say is whenever you're applying for jobs, always read the brief, because there might be something little in that brief that you have to do, such as the video for Maddy. And for me, it was a bit different, but it was like write in the subject heading that this is what I want you to do. And you'd be surprised how many people don't read the brief, and that's all you need to do. That's a big test. Obviously, with different companies, it's a bit different, but that's a big test. And that's, you know, you need to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Like sometimes you might see something at the end that's like, oh, to apply, email this. Yeah, email this person. But if you don't read to the end, you won't see that, and you know you'll apply just straight through LinkedIn or whatever. But yeah, make sure you read everything, because that's how it's just important. It shows that you're precise and you read the details and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How's your role kind of changed over the year that you've been here? You know, has it grown? Have you done things differently? Has it just been the thing that you applied for?
Yeah, I think like it definitely has grown a lot. Like for example, we're doing a podcast now, and that wasn't a thing when I started. Like the vlogs and things, we're doing lots of those. Yeah, we're doing stuff like a bit differently now. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really. The role was quite like open when I joined. It was like, oh, obviously you have to do this and this, you know, as most companies do. But then, you know, just like bring in your own creative ideas as well. So I think that was quite nice, because that's kind of what I wanted in a role. Like I like just being able to do kind of what I think is like best for the company. Like marketing wise, and we've had like a lot of feedback that's been really good. Like whenever anyone comes into the office, they're like, oh, I've seen you do this and I've seen you do that on LinkedIn and blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, that's good that you're seeing all of that. So yeah, the stuff we're doing is at the moment is definitely really good. How about you? Yeah,
well, it's changed a lot, I think. When I first started, it was kind of a role that was created for me as part of the subscription part of the company, and that's just been growing for the whole year, past couple of years that I've been here. But it's like, I think it's developed more that I've learned things like droning. That's been quite a big learning curve in the past couple of years, because I've got all my licenses, which there's a lot to go into that. Obviously, I've got much better with the camera, and we've got much better kit, and you know, you learn much more things when you're actually on the set and when you're doing things than what you sometimes do when you're learning it in college. You have to be working on the job to actually get used to doing it, which I think is a really big thing in when you're growing up and you're learning how to do something. Always get the kit out and learn it yourself. Don't rely on writing things down. Use the kit. And that's, I think, what has taught me a lot this past couple of years. So it's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like the practical stuff is like
100%.
really important.
Yeah.
Is drone your favourite piece of kit?
Ooh. Yes. I love getting the drone out, and it's so peaceful because you can just go up into the sky, fly it, and obviously safely and everything, and get some beautiful shots. Groundwork camera stuff is still really good, but you can't be taking it up and capturing everything that you can. Because what you find these days is everybody has a phone, and everybody, films things, and you can see it on TikTok and everything like that. But with drones, you can't just send your phone up. So it's like, I love getting it out, lifting it up, and doing something that not many people can do out of the ordinary. It's just great, and it's peaceful. It's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
How did you get your drone license? Like, what's the process in doing that?
So you have to get like a flyer ID and that sort of thing online, and that's just so you can fly drones. And it's all on the Gov website if you are interested in that. And then you have to get a specific license to actually fly it corporately. So I did that. And to be fair, I've done a lot of drone work in the past few years, past couple of years since I got my license, because I've been to Ireland, and we had to fly right next to Dublin Airport. And that was really interesting in itself because we had to, contact flight control. We had to call people, write forms. It was really complicated, but it's learning on the job.
Yeah.
And it's like we had to do all of that. I've done hundreds of flights around the country, and every job's different. And I think it's really important that you just get your drone and you learn it. You learn from every single shoot that you do. It's great. It's
good. Just be careful to research what you're doing first, because it's easy enough to be like, I'm buying a drone, I'm buying a little drone, it's fine, I can fly it wherever I want. But that's not the case. There are, even if you own like a tiny drone, there's still loads of regulations that you have to follow, which is I suppose the confusing part of drone work. You can't fly near an airport, you can't fly near anything, you can't fly over roads, things like that. It can be quite dangerous if you do your drone breaks halfway through a flight, it falls on a car or something.
And it happens. It does happen. But you know what, it's not like you can't fly in these places. It just means you need to get the right regulations. And it's like traffic control. It was right next to the airport. They're really lovely. They help you out so you can fly wherever you want, but just do a simple call, get used to it, and then as easy as that, you can fly wherever you want. Just get the right permissions, and that's pretty much it on drone work. It's pretty simple. Yeah,
you mentioned filming in Ireland. Have you done a lot of filming abroad?
Now we've done one in France, which was really good. I mean, everyone talks about abroad shoots being, you're so lucky to be able to go and you're going to another country and you'll have a few days to just explore it, but it's not like that. It's really exciting. It's really fun. Obviously France was really good. Ireland was really good, but they're really hard work. You work all day. You might have a bit of break in the afternoon, but you're working all day. You're traveling all day. It's tiring, but it's fun at the same time. So it's not all fun. It's not all fun and games.
It's kind of like going on holiday, but you don't have any holiday. You just have to work.
I know. You do think that when you're going on them, you're like, I can explore a little bit. I'm obsessed with magnets. I always collect magnets wherever I go. So I've got one from France, got one from Ireland.
How many magnets have you got altogether, Byron?
That could be another podcast. I could just go through all my magnets. I've probably got around 200 magnets from different cities, countries, theme parks. I've got loads, but
that's a lot of magnets.
It is. It is. But back to the actually shooting abroad. Yeah, we've done a few. We're all around the country though as well. Scotland, we've done that this month and last month. Wales, we're all over. That's what's good. But magnets come before anything.
If you know you're going to see Byron and you've been somewhere that sells magnets, buy him a magnet, alright?
Yeah, just post me some magnets.
That's how to make him happy.
just magnets all over. Eventually, I'm going to have magnets all around a room. It's not going to be wallpaper, it's going to be magnets.
Right, okay. Is that the what you're trying to get to? Is that the goal?
That's a dream.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
Just magnets all over. No one's going to smash them. Yeah.
How does the film industry, the video production industry, differ from what you kind of thought it would be like?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously we don't work for like the BBC,
Mm-hmm.
but like, you know, this is a video production industry, even though it's a small one. We do work with like a lot of big clients. So how do you think it kind of differs from what you expected?
Very much so. I mean, when you're in high school and you're watching all these films, you're like, oh yeah, I want to work behind that set. And it's going to be really fun and everything. And it is really fun, but the long days, and you don't realise that when you're in college and stuff, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to work behind this set and it's going to be fine. But they are long days. I mean, I went on a shoot once that was 16 hours. And we stopped for like 30 minutes to have a little break. But do you know what? Them sort of days, you're full of adrenaline and you just get on with it. And the result at the end is really good. Like, you can get back, you can edit it, watch it through, and you're like, yeah, those 16 hours was totally worth it. But it's not just films, it's adverts and social media. All of this sort of stuff is really, it's as important as working for Netflix, because you know, these companies, you do health and safety videos as well. You learn a lot. Mm-hmm. And 5 years ago, I did not think I would be learning how to operate like a big dump truck in a quarry. Like, it's so interesting, and you're learning something new every week. And it's like, it's not just turning up with a camera and saying, oh, do this, do that. You're learning about their lives, and you get really passionate about a lot of things that you would never dream about it. But what you've been on a few now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you said, it's really exhausting. It is, like, whenever I go on a film shoot with them, I'm like, by the end of the day, I'm like, oh my god, that is just, I'm exhausted now, because you're like standing up for the whole day, holding cameras, holding heavy equipment, having to drag heavy equipment around like sites and things, like, holding a light. I'm normally like a light stand in some films, like me in the background with a light, like
there's plenty of photos.
Hurts your arms, it does.
It does, yeah.
Like, it is exhausting. And like, yeah, obviously they are quite long days, depending on what you're doing. Obviously the subscription shoots are, you know, between like 3 or 4 or 5 hours, but like other shoots, like I did the health and safety one. Was it a health safety video recently? We worked with Card Factory recently. And I was a light stand for that one. And just having to like walk around all day in, like, because you're wearing like the heavy safety boots as well, so then your legs hurt as well. So yeah, by the end of the day you're like, I just want my bed.
You are. And do you know what? You cannot beat getting home from a shoot and laying down on that bed and your back's just cracking. And you just put a film on. Like, you're working with film and then you just want to go home and put a film on. And I think that's big in the industry. It's like, everywhere you go, people are watching films. Like, I went home the other day and my nephew was sat watching Moana. And it's like, from when you're born to when you get older, you're watching films. And I think it's so important that, you know, you learn that. So it's good. Yeah,
I mean, people sit on their phones scrolling like the whole day. Like, what do you do at the weekend? Do you know what I mean? You lay in bed and you watch TikTok all day. Like, video is such an important part of like these
100%.
Generations now, that like you can't escape it. There's no way of escaping video. It's everywhere, even on like billboards and things now have video on them. Like, it's everywhere. VR, it's, you know, AI, like all of this stuff, it's super important. And like, this is why businesses kind of need a video strategy and like need video campaigns, because it's everywhere, and that's how people learn information, that's how people find out about things. It's video. It's
how people are engaged as well. People don't want to just see a photo these days. But it's also what goes through on a film. Like, it's not just turning up with a camera, is it? It's I mean, today we've got like 4 lights lighting us, but normally you'd think, oh, just a light. There's so much to go into filming that some people don't realise how much stuff you have to do to do something. Even like a big reflector. I mean, that hurts your hands in itself, but that's another thing that you have to learn. And so much stuff that goes into filmmaking. It's great. It's a great industry to be in.
Even now I have to, if I'm setting up a camera, I have to get someone to come and check it just in case I'm not set it up right. You know, I've been here a year and I still have to like ask for advice about like how to set up a camera, how do I use this tripod, how do I put the light on the stand. Like, it's learning stuff every day. Like, even if in editing, like I'll edit something and like someone will be like, oh, but you could do this, and oh yeah, that's a good idea. Like there's always like new ideas and different things to do like all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even David, who I'm learning from constantly, asks questions, and it's like I might know the answer to something that he doesn't, because everyone does something in a different way, but you get a similar result. But as long as you're doing it right, and you're getting a good result, everywhere is kind of right. So it's a really good industry, fun to be in, and it's totally different. How
does the kind of video stuff you do now differ from, I don't know if it was your first film, but your grad film, your student film? So I watched his student film today in preparation for this podcast.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually really good. It was kind of like, it made me smile a bit.
Good.
Like, it was a good film. I'll put it in the link if anyone wants to watch it, the link below. So yeah, how do you think you've kind of progressed from doing that film?
Yeah, it's weird because the film itself is really good. I mean, I was the DOP of the film, which is quite a big role, but it's...
What does that mean for people who don't know DOP?
DOP is a director of photography. Now, it's the ones that control the shots and everything, but, with a student film, it's like everyone has that role to play, and the director was really good at it as well. And, it was an alright film. It had a good story. It was alright, but it was very experimental, very rushed. We had 3 Sony cameras, the little ones, and we just went round and just filmed it really rushed. And if I went to go back and do it again, the white balance would be changed, because that's a big thing. And all these little things that I've learnt in a year, angles and how to shoot someone, just things that you pick up doing it every single day. Like white balance, cropping it, even the editing. I mean, I wasn't part of the editing, but I could have assisted that with the things that I've learnt now.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to watch it to kind of realise what it is. But there's a lot that I'd change about it.
Yeah.
100%.
Even like directing people, the actors differently and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like, is it all handheld or is there
it's
some
all
stuff?
handheld.
All handheld, yeah. It's very, if you watch it, it's very like bumpy.
Yes, you need a sick bucket if you want to watch it. I mean, it's great. It's we do often watch it with the little friends that I made it with, and it's good. It brings back some good memories.
Yeah.
Another thing that I really like about film is you can rewatch your stuff all the time, and it's like it takes you back to like, oh my god, like that was such a while ago, and it was really, really good memories, and you meet some good people.
So that's like an 18-minute film. How long did that take you to film?
That was filmed over 4 days.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because I think this is, a lot of people don't realise how long it actually takes to get 18 minutes of decent footage. Like 4 days, but you would think maybe it was done over a day. Like the actors weren't the same thing. Like I mean, this is with any film, like, with Hollywood films.
Yeah.
You don't understand how long like a scene takes to film, like days and days.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, it took 4 days to film.
Yeah.
But about 6 months to prepare.
6 months.
Like if you go from like pre-production to post-production to get the edit right, to get everyone to approve it, to write the scripts, to get all the team together.
Yeah.
From when we started that in our uni course, it's probably taken about 6 months. And when you watch it, you're like, oh, it's just a student film. It is, but it still took a long time. Which, again, it's just filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't seen yours. You made a film, didn't you?
Well, I did, I don't know if you have seen it. I did an animation, it was about a Bond film.
Right.
I made like the opening like title sequence to a Bond film. Yes, I think Lottie and David have watched it.
I'm gonna have to watch.
They were quite impressed.
Yeah.
But I watch it back now and I'm like, this is so bad. Like I could do so much better.
Yeah, that's it. You're just learning all the time. Like even stuff that I maybe did at the beginning of work, I think the more you do it, the more you learn, the more you think you can do a much better job at it.
Yeah.
And the thing with filmmaking is it's never perfect. Even things that everyone thinks is perfect, you're going to still look back at it and think, oh, I could have just done one more shot, I could have just done one more bit of this, and it's never going to be perfect in your own head. So never feel down about a film that you've done, because everyone else is going to love it, but you're just going to judge your work a lot more harshly than what you should do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, that was good. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the podcast today, Byron.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you for asking me questions and seeing how it goes. Yeah, I hope you've learned some things about me.
Yeah, definitely have.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you have a nice time watching this. And check out our other Lights, Camera, Conversation podcasts.
Mm-hmm. And if you've made it this far, comment down below whose film is better. If you've watched both of them, I'll put them in the link.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. I did have something in my head and then it just went, so I'm like, films.
Yeah, I saw you leant forward and then you didn't say
And
anything.
I was
I was like, what's he going to say?
I totally had a mind blow. I don't know what I'm going to say now, but I said, right.
I thought you were going to say something funny, like, comment like, whose haircut's better, or like some shit
It
like
was
that.
going to be something like that. I can't remember what it was, and I'm like, yeah. If we redo that bit, comment whose hair's better, because we've been moaning about that all day. It's going to be mine, though.